Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Balance Me Yoga. All right, so today you might want to consider having a block or a hardcover book or something to hold for possibly a pose or two we may do. So just consider that if you have something handy, or even if you have like a folding chair, you can use that, or if you're near a wall or something like that to use for balance. So I just always like to make sure I provide that reminder as well before we get started. All right, so today we are going to start in standing. So we're going to do a little something different, change it up a bit. So if you can just get on your mat, standing at the top of your mat, finding a nice Tadasana mountain pose. So those feet are straight underneath you, right? Ankles just above the feet, knees, thighs, so keeping it about a hip distance apart where the feet are. Um, Keeping everything just stacked up above as it's going up, pulling that belly in, taking a nice deep breath, rolling those shoulders up on an exhale, letting it out through the mouth, dropping those shoulders down, allowing those hands, palms forward, facing palms facing out, closing your eyes. Taking a moment here to connect. Connecting to your legs, your ankles, your feet as they root you down into the earth. Just taking a moment to notice any sensations you might feel as you center here in this standing, this mountain pose, this strong pose. Notice how your body feels with your eyes closed while you're standing, as you find that rooting feeling, that grounded feeling. But at the same time, maybe you're noticing a little sway. Maybe you're noticing your body trying to find that center. Just allow it to happen. Notice it. Connecting to that breath. Maybe let's take a nice inhale through the nose. Open mouth exhale. Let's take another. Pulling that belly in. Start connecting with that Ujjayi breath. Closing your mouth. Taking a breath in through the nose. Nice and even as you exhale out through the nose. Notice that throaty, oceanic sound that maybe you feel in the back of your throat. That tightness as you exhale. Reminding yourself to connect to this breath, this victorious breath throughout your practice. On your next inhale, let's bring those arms up above. You can keep your eyes closed or open gently if you're ready. Exhale, should bring them down. Let's bring them up again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, as you bring them up. This time as you bring them up, grab that left wrist with the right hand. Finding yourself pulling that left shoulder up a bit more, as if you're just reaching up to the sky. And slowly, gently, bring it over towards the right. Allowing that left hip to push towards the left. Maybe bring your gaze up towards your left elbow crease. On your next inhale, coming back up. Exhale it out as you take that right hand away and grab the right wrist with the left hand. Find yourself stretching that right shoulder up above. Make sure you can see me better. As you stretch, bring it over on an exhale to the right, to the left, allowing those right hips to push out to the right side. Still keeping that left hip underneath you. Maybe bring your gaze towards the right elbow crease. Inhale. Exhale, bring it down. This time, bring it up again on an inhale. Allow the right elbow to bend behind your head and grab at the top with your left hand, that right elbow. Just doing a nice, gentle little stretch through the triceps. Maybe this time, let's bend towards the left with that left hand on the right elbow still, allowing those right hips to push out to the side. Inhale as you come back up. Exhale, bring them down. Inhale as you bring those arms back up again, allowing the left elbow to bend behind you. Grabbing the top of that left elbow with the right hand. Allowing for a little tricep press here, a little stretch through the triceps. And now let's do a little lean again to the side, waking up those hips, waking up those shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Let's try one more shoulder stretch here. We're going to bring it up on an inhale. As you exhale, as you bring them down, let's bring that right shoulder across, right arm across your chest, allowing that left hand to hold right at just outside the deltoid here of your right arm. Just allowing a nice gentle stretch across the body, but don't turn your body with it. Keep your body straight, allowing that shoulder to stretch to the side, giving a gentle little push in. On your next inhale, I'm going to release it again. Exhale. Inhale, bring it across this time. Now we're switching, so the left is crossing the body towards the right. The right hand is holding at that outer deltoid on the left. Pulling that belly in. Giving a little push inward, but allowing that shoulder to feel a little push in towards your body. Inhale. As you bring them up, exhale, bringing them down. As you come down this time though, exhale it all the way down. Putting a soft bend into your knees. So a little gentle forward fold here. Maybe allow for a nice hang here. Allowing your body to just hang. That ragdoll hang, that feeling. Let's give ourselves a half lift. So putting our hands just under our knees, onto our shins. Pulling that belly in, shoulders away from ears, allowing the crown of the head to push forward while your hips are pushing back. Those two opposing forces. Notice where the weight is going. Are they going into the toes, into the heels? Exhale as you fold it down. This time, as you're in your forward fold, bend your knees. And just keep bending them as if you're going to sit down on the ground, but don't sit. You're just keeping them bent as low as you can bend them. Not too low, not down to the ground, just low enough where your knees are just above your toes. And this time, let's bring those arms up. Maybe start lifting that belly a little bit away from the thighs. Finding that Utkatasana chair pose here. So maybe in chair pose, you keep your feet separate. Maybe you keep them together. You find where your balance lies, where your body's going to meet you today. You find that position, that space. From this chair pose, let's take those arms and bring them back behind you as if we're going skiing. Maybe you lean forward into the tippy toes, lifting those heels up off the mat, lifting those heels, keeping those shoulders away from your ears. Notice your balance. Bringing those heels back down as you bring those arms down towards the ground. Allow those knees to straighten a bit. You can still keep a soft bend into a forward fold here. Inhale and a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more time into that chair pose. Bending those knees. When you bend your knees this time, see if you can lift your toes off the mat, but keep those heels down. So maybe you're able to lift the toes a bit. And maybe you come up a little higher as you notice it. But then notice if you try to push those heels back or the hips back down. Can you keep those toes up? Good. Now, let's bring those toes down. Let's go back into our ski lift. Lifting those heels up, going into those tippy toes. Keeping those hips pushing back. Keeping that belly away from the thighs. Shoulders away from the ears. Extending that crown forward. Inhale. Exhale as you lower those heels back down. Inhale, bringing those arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let's bring it back up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Palms at heart center. Now, from here, let's go ahead and start our sun bees. So we're just going to get straight into warming it up. We're going to twist. We're going to, again, change it up a little bit today. All right. So from here, I'm going to go on up. On an inhale. Exhale. Forward fold. Bending those knees in that forward fold. Coming into our chair pose. From here, let's lift up, rooting down into that left foot. Lift up the right. Stepping the right foot back. Right? Now we're going to turn that left foot forward. So now both feet are parallel to each other for a moment. We're going to bend through our knees here into our goddess. So we're doing a little plie almost. So now let's turn those feet out a bit. So those feet are going outward. Finding that goddess pose. Connected to your breath. Let's start to lift up those knees a bit. Turning those toes back forward. We're going to go down into our wide leg forward fold here. So our toes are parallel to each other. Our shoulders, our hands are under our shoulders. Allowing a nice release here. Maybe you find that soft bend in your knees. Maybe you notice the sensations running through the back of your legs, up towards your hips, up towards your lower back. Pulling that belly in. On an inhale, Gaze towards that left foot. Bring your hands towards that left foot and turn and pivot towards the left. Let's step that left foot back. No, actually, keep that left foot forward. Step the right foot up towards it, right? Let's find that bend in our knees. Chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, stand it up. Hands at heart center. Inhale. Exhale into our chair pose, Utkatasana. Forward fold. From here, let's step the right foot back, left foot back. We're in a plank. So I'm gonna get back to this side of my mat so you can see me better. So we're in our plank pose. Keeping those shoulders underneath, your wrists underneath those shoulders. Let's go down, keeping those elbows in. So either you go all the way down and lift up on an inhale for cobra, or you lift up into your upward dog, wherever you're ready to start your practice. Curl those toes back underneath you. Pushing up into your downward dog on an exhale. Connecting to your breath here. Lifting up that right leg. Taking a nice bend in the hip, maybe open it up a bit. Straighten that leg out again. Inhale as you bring that right leg underneath you, lifting up through it, stepping it forward, turning that left foot out 45 degrees, coming up into our warrior one. Finding that bend through that front right knee. Feeling the length from the pinky side of your left foot, coming straight up the back of your leg, all the way up. Turning your shoulders, squaring them with the wall in front of you. Keeping that bend in that front knee, pulling that belly in. Exhale, bringing it down. Stepping the right foot back. Down. Maybe you go up into an upward dog or cobra. Curl those toes, downward dog. We just did our first downward dog, but take a moment here in your downward dog. And when you're ready, on an inhale, lift that left leg. Maybe bend it, open up that hip a bit. Maybe even make a little circle if you need to. Just feel that hip waking up. Taking it back, straighten it up. Inhale as you bring that knee underneath you. Stepping that left foot forward. Right foot down at a 45-degree angle. Slowly finding your body coming up. Keeping those shoulders nice and square with the wall in front of you. Pulling that belly in. Let's bring those arms up. Warrior one. Finding that length. Also finding that strength through that left leg here. Allowing that quad. It should feel nice and strong. Exhale, bringing those hands back down to the mat. Stepping that left foot back. It's up to you if you want to just push straight back into downward dog or go through your flow. Let's take a few breaths here. If you need to, pedal out your feet. Feel free to push back into a child's pose if need be as well. Maybe find a little twist in your hips, or just pedaling out the feet, or maybe you find a twist underneath you, reaching for one leg, gazing under the shoulder, whatever feels good to you. But keep those hips lifted up. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. Keeping those palms rooted into your mat. Gaze towards the front of your mat. Step up or hop or jump to the top of your mat. into your forward fold. Exhale. Inhale on a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Find that bend in your knees right here. Lift it up. Chair pose. Utkatasana right here. Notice what you might feel. Maybe you lift those toes up. Maybe we bring those arms back. Lift those heels up again. Shoulders away from the ears. Bring those heels back down. Lifting up. Stand up here. Exhale, palms at heart center. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, Utkatasana. Let's go into that wide leg, into that. We're going to go into a star pose from here first, and then we'll go down into our other sun B. So let's step it back here. Stepping the left foot back so the right is up front. Let's turn the right foot forward. Let's go into a star pose. So point those toes out. Open up those arms. Star. Letting all that good energy in. Allowing for that beautiful energy to come to you. Connecting to your breath. Allowing those thighs to continue working. That belly should be pulled in. Inhale. Turning those toes forward, parallel to each other. On the exhale, forward fold. Connecting to your breath here. Maybe allow for a little bend in your knees. Maybe you walk your hands back if you need to feel a little bit deeper into this wide leg forward fold. When you're ready, bring in those arms, those hands back underneath your shoulders. Let's walk it forward again. Stepping that left foot up to meet the right. Bending those knees. Chair. Exhale, forward fold. Let's step our left foot back, right foot back into our plank. You can flow it through or go into your downward dog or chair pose. Or child's pose if you need a moment. So from downward dog again, let's lift that right foot up. Open up that hip a bit. Keep those shoulders square. Inhale, keeping that leg back up. Exhale. Inhale as you bring that right knee underneath you. Stepping that right foot forward. Bringing that left foot down at a 45-degree angle. Keeping that body nice and square forward. Feeling your shoulders coming forward. Your chest is rolling forward just over that right knee. That right knee is bent. Let's bring those arms up. Warrior one. Pulling that belly in. Exhale as you bring those hands back down to the mat. Stepping the right foot back. Flow it through. Let's bring that left foot up. Inhale, exhale. Maybe allow that hips to open a bit. Straighten it back up. Inhale as you bend that left knee, bringing it underneath you. Step it forward or inch it forward if you need to. 45-degree angle with that right foot. Keeping that knee bent as you come on up. Finding that warrior one here. You got it. Exhale. Bringing those hands back down. Left foot back. Again, flow it through or push back into your downward dog or child's pose. Take a moment for yourself. Let's catch it. Take a few breaths here. Maybe take a sip of water if you need to. Whatever you need. Allow your body to receive that. Pushing back into that downward dog. Connecting to your breath here. Whenever you're ready, let's bring that right foot, lift it up, stepping that right foot up, stand on those back left toes, coming up into our high lunge. Keeping that right foot, that right knee bent. That right knee is just above the first and second toes. Finding that lift here. That lift through the left. Strength into that right. Pulling that belly in. Now, let's take our right arm, cross it underneath the left, as if we're making our eagle arms, right? We're starting a little eagle. So maybe for you, your eagle just looks like the back palms touching each other here. That's fine. Or you're able to cross it all the way and do that full connection. Maybe you just hold on at the thumb. Whatever you can do to kind of just allow for the crossing of those forearms and find a little lift here. Maybe allow for a little back bend. Connecting to your breath throughout. Now let's allow to root down into that right foot. As you root down, lift that left and bring that left leg over the right. Maybe you use that left toe as a kickstand. Maybe you find a little bend into your knees here. Still allowing those arms to press up and out, pulling that belly in. Now let's release those arms, step it back, straighten that right leg in front of you. Maybe you bring that left leg in just a bit so those left toes are still pointed forward. And from here, we're going to go into a little pyramid pose. So it's a nice deep stretch here. And as you find the pyramid, maybe you find yourself extending your head forward as if you're pushing the crown of your head towards the top of your mat, above, like it's going past your toes. You can keep your hands on your hips, or you can slowly bring those hands down the leg. Maybe you touch the mat, keeping that right knee straight. Maybe put a soft pin into it if you need to. Maybe if you have a chair, put those first couple legs on the chair. Maybe you use the chair to give you a little lift here too, so it's not too deep, but just deep enough to feel that nice stretch through the right leg. Maybe if you have blocks, you can also put your hands on blocks. Whatever feels good to you. When you're ready, bend through that right knee, placing both hands down in front of you on the mat. Stepping that right foot back. Vinyasa, flow it through, or just push back into your downward dog. All right, from here, lifting that left leg up. And then we're gonna bring it back forward, stepping it forward to the top of our mat. Keeping the bend in that left knee. Keeping that left knee above the first and second toes, up on those right tippy toes into our high lunge again. Down, pressing down into that left knee. Just notice how you feel, finding your balance here. Maybe you gotta, depending on the space you need, maybe you close it up some if that's just too much, or you can open it up a bit if you need more. And by open up, I mean your right leg. Maybe it moves back a little bit further, or you bring it up a little closer, depending on the space you need and the distance. And when you're ready, let's find those eagle arms. This time the left arm is under the right. And the right is crossing over. Find that hold that works for you. Maybe find that lift up, pushing those forearms out. Maybe find a little back bend here. Notice the balance. Bring it back down. Maybe you find a root as you root down into that left. Find that balance as you lift up that right, bringing it forward and across, keeping that bend into the knees. Maybe use the right toe as a kickstand on the left side. You got it. When you're ready, you can unravel. Release that left foot back. This time, allow that left foot to, or the right foot back, allow that right foot to plant down, root down. Straighten that left knee. Bring those shoulders and hips forward. Connecting to your breath. Rooting down into the left, rooting down into the right. Finding that push forward as if you're bringing your head past your toes. Now slowly going down into that deep, intense stretch here. Again, you can always use a block or two, or the chair if you need to, so that it's not too deep, too intense. If it's too much, you can always find that space using a chair or a block. You can always add a little bend to that knee if you need to as well. You can always close the space if you need to. If this is too much, you can find that space that works for you in this pyramid pose. When you're ready, let's bring those hands back down to the mat. Let's lift that left leg, stepping it back, flow it through, or of course you can always push back into your child's pose or downward dog for a moment. We're going to flow through that one more time. We're going to add one more little balance pose through that as well. All right. When we're ready, we're going to meet in our downward dog. Let's bring that right leg up, stepping it forward, going into our high lunge again. On those back toes, crossing that right arm under the left. Bringing that left leg forward as you root through the right, crossing it over the right. Maybe you hook your toes behind your right calf. Maybe you find that bend or you use those left toes as a kickstand on the right. But try to keep the right hip underneath you. Don't allow it to just fall out to the wayside. Keep it underneath you. From here, step it back. As you release it, find that pyramid. So bringing that, your chest and your shoulders forward. Squaring them with the wall in front of you or right above those right toes. Finding that extension of the head as it's going, the crown's going past those right toes. Bringing it down. Maybe from here we keep the left hand down. Finding a twist here, raising the right arm up. A little revolve triangle here. Now from here, bring your gaze back down towards your toes. Bring that right hand back down. But this time, if you have a block, or even if you have the chair on your mat, you can use that as for balance. We're going to take that right hand back down underneath our shoulder, bend through that right leg, lifting that left leg up, going into our Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Keeping that foot flexed here. Find that lift. Gaze is up. This time, from this position, we're going to take our left hand, we're going to bring it down, take that left foot, turn it down so those left toes are pointing down. Standing split. So maybe you keep that, find that those hips are still nice and even. Even if you have to bring your right hand right here around your sacrum to feel that evenness in the hips. They shouldn't feel like they're on an angle. Maybe you take your right hand and hold at the right angle. You might have a soft bend in that right knee, or you can straighten it. Now from here, let's take that left foot and cross it towards the right, but on the outside of the right foot. So now we're like in a cross leg forward fold. Find that forward fold here. Now from here, let's uncross, step that left foot back, step the right foot back, flow it through, or push it back into your downward dog. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, from here, let's lift that left leg up, step it through, high lunge, up on those right toes. You got it. Let's cross that right arm under the left. Find those eagle arms. Give it a nice little lift, a little back bend here. As you bring it forward, rooting into that left leg as you bring the right around. You can hook those toes behind you. Find a little bend. Find the lift. The upper part is lifting up and out while those legs are bending. Find that balance. Beautiful. Step it back, uncross. Finding that pyramid position so those right toes are still pointed forward a bit. Finding the space you need for the balance and straightening that left leg. Extending down into that pyramid. Planting that right hand underneath your right shoulder. Allowing that left to extend up. Revolve triangle. Maybe you have a soft bend in your knee here if you need to. Might be a little bit too deep. Keeping that left hip underneath you. Don't push it out. Bringing that gaze back down towards your toes. Bringing that left hand and right hand to meet there. Find a little bend in that left knee. Maybe grab your block again or a chair, or if you're able to touch the floor, feel free to do so. And as you push up into that half moon, allowing that left hand to come down, right hand comes up, and the right toes are pointed out. Hip is nice and even. Maybe you keep your gaze down or to the side, or you can bring your gaze up, whatever feels good for you. A half moon here, you got it. When you're ready, bring that right hand back down to the mat. Bring those right toes, pointing down towards the mat, so our standing split. Again, making sure those hips are nice and even. Bring that left hand towards the left ankle. Maybe you try to bring your nose towards the knees. Standing split. When you're ready, taking that right leg now. You can move that left hand out the way if you need to. And bring it to the outside of the left foot into that cross leg forward fold here. Beautiful. When you're ready, stepping that right foot back as you uncross and then step the left foot back. Let's flow it through or push back into your downward dog. Connecting to your breath. Maybe if you're in child's pose right now, take a nice few inhales and exhales. When you're ready, we're all going to be back in downward dog. From here, let's take that right leg. You're going to bend it as you lift up. And you're going to bring the right toes towards the left hand as that right knee comes down towards the right hand. Going into a pigeon here. Let's do a nice little pigeon stretch. So maybe from here, you find that lift first. So find that lift. Allow your body just to lift up. And when you're ready, you can always just walk those arms down, those forearms, those hands. Maybe you place your forehead down onto the tops of your hands. And you find your pigeon here. Notice which hand is on top. Maybe you're laying on your right hand. Maybe your right is over the left. When you're ready, let's bring those hands back underneath you. Curl those left toes. Lift up into that downward dog again. And this time, let's bring that left foot up. So turning that knee out. So the left knee is going towards the left, while the left foot is going towards the right side. Maybe you gotta grab it and help bring it up if you need to, and that's okay. Again, find that little lift first before you go down. Just to make sure that right thigh is pressed against the mat. The tops of the right toes are down. Kind of find where you got that space here and that in between that left hip crease. Find that lift. Bring those shoulders away from the ears for a moment. And when you're ready, connecting to your breath on an inhale. As you exhale, slowly bring it down. So maybe if your right was on top before, this time bringing that left hand on top of the right. As you bring your head down on that forearm. Connecting to your breath. And taking a moment. From here, let's go ahead. We're going to lift on up. Bring that leg back. Maybe you push into a downward dog for a moment. Maybe let's go ahead, bring those knees down towards the mat. Bring them out. Bring those toes together. Let's push back into a child's pose for a moment. Bringing that third eye to the mat. Allowing those arms to go out in front of you. Just taking a moment there. All right, when you're ready, as you come up from that child's pose, let's go ahead and find a nice seat. So in that seat, bringing our feet together here to a Baddha Konasana. And you allow your knees to go down as much as they can. Shoulders away from the ears. Now from here, let's extend the left leg out, bringing the right leg in towards you, towards the inside of the left thigh. Just seeing if you can allow that right knee to press down towards your mat. Maybe those left toes are looking at you, flexing those toes a bit. Pressing down to that entire left leg. It's pressing down into your mat. Maybe you find a little stretch here, a little extension as you reach those hands forward, as you gently reach towards your feet or towards your heel or your calf. But the main thing is just finding that extension through your back. So you're not rounding down here. We're keeping that back nice and straight as we extend forward. Let's hold it here. Connecting to our breath. Inhale as you come back up. Finding that straightening again. Exhale, going back down. Maybe you go a little bit deeper this time. Maybe take your right hand. See if you can bring it to the outside, to that pinky side of the left. So that arm is twisted, essentially going over this way to the outside of the left foot. Maybe you find a little lift here as you still hold on to that foot, or you hold on to the ankle or calf, wherever you can find that. So you can maybe find a little twist here as you gaze over that left shoulder. You can totally feel possibly all of that entire right side, really getting a nice stretch, some lengthening through that side body. Gazing over the left. Maybe you go back down again, going a little bit deeper as you hold to that right, the left side of the right, the left side, the pinky side of the left foot. And as you hold, maybe you can lift that foot up and find that gaze over the left arm, left shoulder. Maybe that left arm goes out, extends behind you. Still not going to let this foot go over to the side. Try to keep it out straight in front of you as you find that extension through the left. Finding that full body twist here. Gently bringing that left arm back, bringing that gaze back, bringing that leg straight back in front of you. Slowly bringing it back down. Good. Straighten out that right leg. Now let's bring that left to the inner right thigh. Finding that extension here. Slowly lowering it down again. Again, finding that extension through your spine. We're not just curling down, dropping down. Finding that extension. Coming back up. Inhale, exhale, maybe you go a little bit deeper. Maybe we take that left hand, grab the pinky side of the right foot or the calf of the right. Maybe we find a little gaze over our right shoulder, noticing that left body stretch, that side body stretch to the left. You can bring your arm back. Inhale. Exhale as you try to go a little bit deeper into it maybe. Maybe you're able to grab the back of the foot this time. Maybe you're able to lift it up this time. Maybe you're able to bring the gaze behind you. Keeping that right foot in front. Gazing as you stretch that right arm behind you. Keeping that right leg straight. Inhale. Exhale as you bring that gaze back forward. Slowly lower the leg. Good. Now, let's go ahead. Lie back. Lie on back. Keeping those knees bent. Bringing your feet to the outside, to the sides of your mat. Giving yourself a little windshield wiper. Bringing the right knee down to the inside while the left knee goes out. Bring it the opposite way. Bring the left knee inside, right knee out. Connecting to your breath. Do a few of those windshield wipers. Any final poses you feel like you need here, feel free. Whether it be a bridge, wherever you are in your practice with shoulder stands or plow, whatever you need. Any inversions or anything like that. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and meet in Shavasana. Extending those legs out. Bringing those hands down, palms up. Shoulders away from your ears. Connected to your breath. Now allowing yourself to just rest. Taking in that corpse pose. Giving it the justice that it deserves. As morbid as corpse pose may sound, this is that moment for you to reconnect with yourself. To take some time to notice everything through your body. Anything that you're feeling. Anything you're ready to continue to release and let go. That is what the corpse pose is for. Allow for that. Since this is on you, you can always pause here and continue your Shavasana. Ready? Let's go ahead and start waking up those fingers, moving those fingers and toes. Start taking a little bit more movement through the wrists and the ankles. And then when you're ready, of course, you can go ahead and take a bigger movement, stretching those arms up, stretching those feet out. Maybe connecting, bringing those knees in towards your chest. When you're ready, turning to your right or left side to that fetal position. Your preference, yogi's choice. In that fetal position, that position of rebirth. Again, recognizing the change, the different patterns of your body today and what you noticed and what you felt. When you're ready, slowly using that left hand, you bring the right hand down, whatever side you might be on, allowing yourself to come on up into that Sukhasana, easy seated pose here. Keeping the eyes closed, reconnecting with your breath. Let's bring our right hand to our heart. Let's put our left hand on top. Connecting to our breath here. I am no longer I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. Angela Davis. There was a lot of change through our flow today. Changed it up, tried to do something a little different. It was definitely a challenge for me, but I love the challenge and I love having the energy that comes through from all of you supporting me in my yoga practice, but also as a yoga teacher, and having the ability to share my love of yoga with everyone is one of the things that keeps me going. So thank you so much. When you're ready, bring your hands to heart center. Palms together. Eyes still closed. The light in me honors and respects the light in you. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your flow today. Take the strength you found on your mat and carry that to your day today. Namaste. Thank you. Stay beautiful. Have a beautiful day.